Hey everybody, Jake Reichbart here. Today I'm going to share with you a lengthy lesson excerpt. So have your guitars ready and we're going to have some fun together arranging a song. Perhaps you've seen some of my many hundreds of solo guitar arrangements I have here on YouTube, and the inspiration for these arrangements is right here behind me, as you can see. I grew up with these vinyls, and I draw pretty much from any kind of style imaginable from the pop music of the past 100 years, everything from Glenn Miller to Van Halen, Alan Holdsworth to Motown, and pretty much anything in between. Beatles, I have perhaps 25 Beatles song arrangements, 20 Steely Dan song arrangements, same for Stevie Wonder, rock, hard rock, Deep Purple, Led Zeppelin, and of course tons and tons of classic jazz standards from the 40s and 50s, bebop, dance tunes, movie themes. And if you want to learn how to arrange any of these songs for solo guitar, I can teach you. Just like the excerpt that you're about to watch, which comes from a lesson that runs about 90 minutes, I have nearly 200 additional titles, and they are mostly song specific. I enjoy teaching through specific songs because I can show you hands-on how I approach arranging a song. What's nice about these lessons is that I don't just tell you, do this and you're done, but rather I'll take you through 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to play the same passage. I'll work with you on dynamics, on articulation, and 100 other things that you cannot just put to paper. As I mentioned, these lessons run approximately 90 minutes. The introduction, which runs usually 15 minutes, focuses on the right hand and rhythm, and in this introduction I go through my 3 pillars of rhythmic arranging, the first principle being melody and bass only, the second being rhythmic arpeggiation, and the third, of course, the down stroke that I play with my right hand fingernails to produce that backbeat that everybody asks me about. Nevertheless, I do have 2 main method lessons. The first one, how to arrange any song for solo guitar, running 2 hours, and also an introduction to fingerstyle guitar and solo guitar arranging, running 2 hours and 40 minutes. The information about these lessons, the cost, my full lesson list, as well as a link to the full performance of the song that we're working on today is below in the information. So expand the information, take a look, and let's get started. Right at the beginning of the arrangement, we have a very interesting situation. We have a little bit of a musical part that happens only at the beginning of the song, nowhere else, and stands alone. It's not a chord, it's nothing else. And I just included it because I thought it would be fun to do. It was easy enough to come up with, but it presents several fingering challenge. And the idea was to play this part, that kind of emulating that, I'm not sure if it's an electronic percussion sound at the beginning of the arrangement, but anyway. And what you're seeing here is that I'm just playing one note. Whatever that pattern is, it's almost not important. It's basically D and E, back and forth. But the challenge is the technique and how to produce that sound without getting string noise. So with my first finger, I'm playing on the 3rd string, and it's frets 7 and 9, but I'm making sure with the tip of my finger to cover the 4th string so it doesn't ring, and also the inside of my first finger is covering these 2 strings. So if I just did that, this produces a little bit of a harmonic. So I actually have more muting with the palm of my right hand. I'm putting my palm right here on the strings right here, and that provides a little extra muting so that when I'm doing this, I'm only hearing the notes on the 3rd string. Now with my right hand, there's more technical things. I'm using a picking technique where I'm using my thumb and finger to play this note back and forth. Then on the backbeat, I'm playing, we talked about this before, that now my first finger has to produce that percussive sound. So it's just my first finger. So actually I find myself almost curling in my hand like this and just leaving open these two. And notice again, only this is ringing, nothing. None of these strings. Because again, the bass, this part of my right hand is holding down these two, and the inside of my first finger is holding these down. So, an interesting technical challenge to play there, if you want to include this or not, or you can just start with the chords. Okay, so moving on. Two chords. A, we have an open A in the bass, along with this A major chord with a first finger. I'm just playing, covering the E, A, and C sharp. Strings 4, 3, and 2 on the second fret. Obviously nothing at this point is being played on the upper string. We don't need that. The G chord is parallel. Everything moves down one step. So you remove that. The difference is that for the A chord, I was able to play an open A string, but there's no open G string, so we have to play it here. If it was going to be totally parallel, it would be this. As it is, we can do it this way. And this is a good place to start our rhythmic interpretation. You can see that I'm already doing arpeggiation. Towards the end of that second time that I'm playing the G, I'm playing a little line. B, C sharp, D. It's a little instrumental line that I'm hearing in the original version, so I'm including it. And now the melody starts. So from this A position, I pluck out the notes C sharp, D, and E. And again, how you phrase that melody, it could be or some other way that you hear the melody sung. Here I'm playing the G chord, but my starting melody note is the D. So I play the bass note with this finger, the melody here, and I still have the D and G open. And I'm playing with this finger because I'm using my first finger then to play that C sharp to the open B. Or however you want to phrase that melody. New chord. B minor 7 in the second position. So B, F sharp, A, and D. Again, however you hear the melody. Back to the A. Second time. Now the melody is the A. When it changes to D, my melody is B, G. On my way to the B minor, I'll go through the A. Back to the B minor. The melody as I hear it is D, C sharp, D, C sharp. Play on. Back to A. And the melody on the A now is D, A. And just kind of to be playful with it, there's a delay, like an echo on the voice. Play on, play on. So I kind of try to imitate that. Let's review it. Let's review from here. Or actually, let's start from take from the introduction.